Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today at the Tammy Talk Show. My guest I have here today is a beautiful, well talented young lady. She wants to share with us today her journey, what she has have endured. But being the strong woman she is, God's grace and power have helped her along the way. So she want to share her story with us on today about her journey. I'm going to introduce to you this beautiful young lady, Erica Payne Patterson. Hi, Erica. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. Could you move over just a little bit to the left?
There you
Face would be in the camera. There,
go.
everybody can see your beautiful face. I welcome you to the show on today. It's so good to see you. You're looking good.
Thank you. So
Yes,
are
you
you?
are. I remember the years when you were just a little tiny something. And I thank God right now that He has helped you along the way with your journey. I have some questions here, but I'm gonna wait for some more of my friends to come on, and we just sit here and chit chat a little bit
Okay.
and say hello to the different ones that are coming on. I want to say hello to Sharita. Hello to Daphne Thomas William. Hello, Daphne. Thank you for tuning in. Crystal
Hi.
Jane Payne, your mother. Hello, how are you, my friend? I thank God for you coming on. I see Rhonda Pierce. Thank you for coming on. Kurt Hawkins, which is my godson. Thank you for joining. I'm so glad that we have a beautiful audience that is coming on to hear your story today, because a lot of times we go through things in private, but it helps us and it helps others to hear our story, and maybe they can be or might be going through it, or they might have a loved one that is going through it, and then it gives them more understanding as to what is happening and what is going on.
Okay.
So today I'm gonna start out with asking you, tell us about you and your lovely family.
Well, as she said, my name is Erica Patterson, and I'm 38 years old, and I'm married. Been married for 8 years now, and I have three children and three stepchildren.
Mhm.
So, that's pretty much it.
So you have a big family. You have a blended family right there. So that's beautiful. And speaking of family, there was something you were told about your children. Can you share that with us? What you were told?
Well, I have sickle cell disease, and I was told that I wouldn't be able to have kids because of the sickle cell disease. They said that being pregnant will be too stressful on my body, and I wouldn't be able to carry any kids. That I will be, I want, what they wouldn't go full term,
Mm-hmm.
is, but obviously they was wrong because I have three kids now, so
Mm-hmm.
that's a blessing. So
Yes. And you carried all three full term.
yes,
See?
yep, all three were full term,
Yeah.
and they was born with no issues or
Wow.
anything. So they do have the sickle cell trait. That's the only
Mhm.
thing that they do have.
Yeah, they have the trait. Okay. So that doesn't mean that they have it. They just have the trait.
Yes.
And I was reading something that stated most African American carries the trait.
Hmm.
And say all of them, but most African American does carry the trait, but don't mean that they have it. Okay. What are what are you dealing with and living through on a daily basis?
Well, on a daily basis, I go through a lot of pain,
Mm-hmm.
which is called a crisis. That's what this is usually called, a crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I go through pain, shortness of breath. I have had over six surgeries because of having sickle cell,
Mhm.
and I just been through a lot with it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had both of my hips replaced, both of my shoulders replaced.
Mhm.
I also have had 3 laser eye surgeries done because of the sickle cell disease.
Mhm.
Um, what else? Been through a lot with it.
Yeah.
So
If I may ask, when did you realize you had it, or was you born with it, or it just came at a certain age?
I was born with it. With
Okay.
sickle cell disease, you're only born with it. You can't get it after.
Okay.
Um, my mom and dad both have the trait, so
Okay. Oh, so with both parents having the trait, you have a higher chance at being
yeah,
born with it.
yes.
Okay. Okay, now I got an understanding of that myself. Okay. Can you explain to us what sickle cell disease, also known as SCD, is?
Okay. Well, sickle cell is an inherited disease that affects our hemoglobin.
Okay.
Hemoglobin is a special protein substance
Mm-hmm.
inside the red blood cells that is.
Move back into the camera. You're a little
Oh,
ways away from the camera. I want to see your face. I want to keep your face in it. There you go.
okay. Sickle cell, it's special protein substance inside the red blood cells that
Oh,
is responsible for carrying like oxygen to the lungs and
yeah.
takes it to every part of the body.
Okay.
Hemoglobin also gives blood. It's it's rich and red in color.
Okay.
So it's pretty much my red blood cells are like a half shape, like a moon.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's traveling through like your blood, it gets stuck in the like your veins, your blood. So that's what makes it like that. That's what gives you the pain.
Okay.
So when that happens and gets stuck in the veins in your bloodstream, that's what causes the pain, and it's not able to get a lot of oxygen
Uh-huh.
through. So that's what causes the pain, and that's what happens and sends people to the hospital or other give people issues.
Yes. Okay. So, even with the different times, is it different times that you have flare-ups or anything like that? The pain comes. Is it something like that that happens at times, or are you just constant in pain?
Sometimes I can be constant in pain, but most of the time it comes whenever it feel like it.
Okay.
Um, any given moment, like I'm sitting here talking to you,
Mhm.
and I can go into crisis while I'm sitting here talking to you. It just comes anytime I feel like it.
Mhm.
Um, it's very unpredictable.
Okay. It's unpredictable. Wow. I know that I was reading something where it was saying that most people that have that, they have so many trips that they make to the emergency room. And then I was reading in a little section where it said even sometime when you have to make those trips to the emergency room, the doctors may think you're not really having as much pain as you are having. And
Yeah,
they think that it's just something you're saying, but you are really in pain. And I looked at it like, oh my God, how could you determine whether somebody's in pain or not? Just, listen to the person and do what you have to do to make them feel better.
yeah,
Really like, oh my God, that's just got to be horrible to feel that way. And then people, doctors looking at you like, are you really feeling the pain?
yeah. I
And
get that all the time. I
and
get
you want to look at them and say, heck yeah, I'm
yeah,
feeling pain. Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes they think I'm.
I'm feeling.
Yeah, sometimes I think I come into the ER and maybe I'm want to just get high off of pain medication. They
Yeah.
feel like you just a drug addict and you just want to
Mhm.
come in and you just want to get the help you need so you can go home.
So you
But
can feel better, yes, and
yeah,
you can stop. Wow, I tell you, when I read that, I was like, oh God, I can't imagine. I have a son here that have to go, and you know that Anthony have asthma, and when he
yeah,
to the ER. They look at him like, "Are you back again?" Yes, he's back again. He can't hardly breathe. Come on, help him out. Just give him what he needs. Send him home.
Mhm.
Just to get a hit. He coming to get this pain going out of his body, and so he can breathe and come on back home. Okay, my next question is: what are some of the main side effects of PCD?
Main side effects is mainly pain, um, shortness of breath,
Mm-hmm.
um, chest pain.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you get a lot of infections. What else? It's pain in your joints, your legs, your arms, everywhere. Really, it's really it affects everything, your whole body.
So, if anybody that is suffering or seeing those signs, they need to go see a doctor to make sure what
Yes.
is going on in their body. If they constantly feeling that
Hmm.
and not getting no relief from that, they need to seek professional help. Go and see a doctor so a doctor can give them a diagnosis and they can get the help that they need, because does it progress? It doesn't stay at a certain stage. Do it progress as you don't seek help and
Yes.
get the help that you need? Yes.
Yes. It could get worse. Like I could feel a little pain, and then if I stay home and don't take any medication for it or something like that, it
Mhm.
can get worse and worse and worse to the
Okay.
point where I'm pretty much admitted to the hospital for the pain.
Wow. It's just a blessing that you birthed 3 babies and they have they have don't even have it. And it's a
Yeah.
blessing that even though they said you wouldn't have any children, but you do have 3 beautiful children.
Yeah.
How old is your oldest?
He's 15 actually.
15 now. Oh my God, I can't believe it. 15. Wow. I remember, oh my God, 15 years old. And the little one?
The little one, she's 6 now.
6 now. I remember holding her, yeah. And she
Yeah.
was looking up at me. I said, look at the pretty little cake right here looking at me. As beautiful as she could be.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
So
what are some, okay, you just explained it, I believe. What are some of the signs that to look for in children?
pretty much pain, fever, chest pain, um, shortness of breath, the normal side effects for adult. I would say would the child will have too. So
Mm-hmm.
if you know, I say if you know that either your husband or boyfriend, somebody that you're gonna have a kid with,
Mm-hmm.
is has a trait, and you don't know if you in your family you have the trait. It's best to get tested so you know. Because my mom and dad didn't know that they had the trait until after I was born, and they found out I had it. So it's good. It's very good to get tested.
I see someone asking a question here, Sharita. How do the children handle when you have a crisis?
Actually, um, I really don't know.
How did you handle it as a child? You don't remember?
Um, I just one day at a time. I just really try to suck it up and
Mhm. And your mom and dad, they while you've been born with it, they was there at your younger age, knowing how to handle it and the process and the things that needed to be done. It was there for you to pull you through and to be there through the crisis. And that's a wonderful thing, because most parents are there with their children.
yeah.
The toll on them watching their child go through the pain, and there's nothing they could do. And all they could do is just stand there and pray and say, God, just make my baby feel better.
That's all they really can do is just.
Pain, just help my child. And
Hmm.
that's all they could do, just stand there and watch, because there's nothing you can do take the pain away, because most parents want to say, okay, now pain, you just got to go away, or rather take the pain themselves than to watch their children go through it. I know that's a hard thing to do, even when I be watching my son go through the struggle with that asthma, can't breathe, and all this kind of stuff. And then I have people standing around saying, it's not that bad. Why you have to always go to the doctor?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know your lungs is feeling like it's choking you. It's standing there watching and breathing freely. So it's a hard thing to stand there and watch.
Yeah, my mom said my
Mhm.
first crisis I had was I was 8 years old.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm sure it was terrifying for her to see that.
yeah,
Wow, I can't imagine. Wow.
yeah,
I know your mom. Your mom is a strong and beautiful woman.
yes,
I
yeah.
know she was standing there like, not my baby. Oh, you gonna stop? Oh, this is my baby. But I'm so glad that she was standing beside you, and then she saw the age that it started progressing, and she
Yeah,
noticed your crisis that you was having. And I pray for you, and I pray for your mom daily, because I know it's just something difficult to watch your child go through. But you've been living through it, and you're looking good. And you
yeah,
have gone through the things that you have gone through, the surgeries and everything. But you still, like the old people say here in Georgia, you're still percolating. You're still moving along. You're still blessed. You're still
yes,
raising your kids, and you're working, and your wife. You got it together, even though you're going through that, but you know that you're walking through it with grace and
yeah.
the Lord on your side, and that's a great thing. Okay, okay. Besides being told that you weren't going to have any children, what other things have you been told that you wouldn't be able to do, but you're doing
I
it?
was actually the doctor told me that people with sickle cell don't live past the age of 31.
Oh,
So that was something that well it really scared me when he told me that, especially at a young
hmm,
age, hearing um
wow.
that you might not live past a certain age was hard. Um
Hmm.
and not having to be able to have kids when usually little girls be like you can't wait to have kids and
Yeah,
babies
that's right.
and stuff like that. So that was kind of hard to take in. But I'm
Hmm.
38 now, so God is good.
So the doctor didn't know what he was talking about when he was talking about Erica. Then
Uh-uh.
you done beat the odds on 2 times. You done beat the odds with the baby and life, and that's a great thing, because they can only tell you what scientists have told them.
Yes.
But when you know that you're going to live life, and you have faith that you're going to live life, you have faith that you're going to birth kids, you have beat the odds. And I take my hat off to you for that, because you knew that you had a greater power
Yeah.
to do better than what the doctors can do. So I thank God today that He let you live to 38 and 48 and 58 and 68 and 78, 88, 98, 108. Listen at me. Because He can do that,
Yes.
not what man says, what God says. So
Okay.
I thank God that I know, but it was terrifying for you to hear that come out of the mouth of a doctor,
Yeah.
time that it was coming out, but I'm glad you looked past that and you lived past that. Yes. Okay, we know that there are many people that live with sickle cell, and including some of these people are celebrities. I mentioned, I'm going to mention one that I know have put it in out in the public that she had it, that she has it. And I want to ask a question though. I already said what I was going to say, which so I already answered. But T-Boss was not a type of person that was trying to hold back on having, sickle cell. She was
Hmm.
letting the public know that she was walking through that.
Yes.
And most people try to hide it. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, because this is what I'm living with. That's the way it appeared to me that T-Boss was dealing with it. And I'm grateful that you came on the show today to share your story because you was letting people know that God can help you through it. And if you got the strength and right doctors and the people lined up, you can live a full life. You
Yeah.
can have children. You can live life and have a marriage and 6 children to look out for. You know, just can be a full life, not because I'm sick. I got this disease, but I'm not gonna let the disease get the best of me. I'm still gonna do what I have to do to enjoy life and have a good life. And I have sometimes have seen you and your friends on Facebook just having a good time out at the beach when we could get out there. Can't
Yeah.
much out there now, but having fun and living life to the fullness, and that's a good thing that you lived it to the fullness. You did not let your sickness or the disease that was it trapped in your body stop you from just living life.
Yes.
And if we could say anything to the audience today, those that are dealing with the sickness, or maybe you're dealing with sickle cell, and just live life to the fullness. Don't let it stop you, the disease stop you. Just we have a young lady right here today is letting you know she have lived life to the fullness.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about even with the process of you having your children and dealing with the pain that you dealt with every day
Hmm.
birthing children and to birth children, that is a great pain also.
Yes, it is.
I was afraid that you wouldn't be able to handle that pain because that pain upon the pain that you was dealing with might have been too much for you. But you beat the odds. And I want to tell the audience, you know, you can beat the odds with whatever is going on in your body, whatever is happening. Here's a young lady sharing her story with you. You know, even with you working, as you go on your job and work, and if you have pain is severe, sometime I even read statistics about that. Sometime on your jobs, the people and your bosses will fire you because you can't even perform your job and be there often because of the pain that you're dealing with. Have you had to go through that?
Yes, I've went through that plenty of times. I'm glad that the job that I have now, they kind of understand my issue and they're more supportive with it. So, which is a good thing because a lot of jobs and a lot of like managers and supervisors will tell you, "Oh, you missed too much work," or
Yeah.
"We have to let you go because you missed too many days."
Hmm.
But I'm glad to have a job now where the manager is pretty lenient and is pretty supportive of my condition.
Good,
So
good. Because when I read that too, I was like, wow. They don't understand. But a lot of times they be saying, well, we got to get the job done. We got to get it done. You know, you're not here. But
mhm.
I'm so glad that you have a job now that I understand it. I see a question here that said, how can you tell that some people have a trait? What does a trait mean?
Okay. Well, you can't tell if you have a disease or the trait like by looking at you.
Mhm,
A simple blood test.
mhm.
Whenever you get blood work done at the doctor's office, you can just ask them
O-
to um, just put in the orders to have you tested for it.
Okay.
If you notice you're going through a lot of pain, that's not normal. I would say, still get tested
Right.
for it. Um, Usually, everybody has like an AA hemoglobin, so
Okay.
you can get tested to see what hemoglobin you have. Because if you have the trait, your hemoglobin will be AS or AC. That's
Okay.
how you know you have the trait. If you have the disease, you're gonna have SC or SS
Wow.
hemoglobin, and
Okay.
that tells you the difference between the people that have the sickle cell disease and the sickle cell trait.
Okay. Wow. I like it. Could you explain that again? I'm trying to go over it in my head again. Wow.
Everybody's born with hemoglobin AA.
Okay.
So everybody, yeah, and then if you have the trait, you're born with the AS or you have the AC hemoglobin.
Okay.
And then if you have sickle cell disease like me, you're gonna have SC or
Hmm.
SS.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now I got it. Wow.
Uh-huh.
I tell you. And if, like she was saying, if you're having any pain anywhere in your body like that, if anything that you're hearing right now is sound familiar with what you're
Mhm.
going through right now, young man, young lady, if it's anything like that, get the help. Or I'll say, because you're, when she said you're born with it, it's so, as a child, when your child start feeling this way, or you can tell that they're in pain, get
Mhm.
to the doctor and get them tested to
Yeah.
see what's going on, so you can get them the help that they need.
Yeah.
Because I have seen others deal with this, and it is much pain. I can even remember when I was young, they was trying to see did I have it, because of the pain that I was going through. And then when they looked at my blood cells, it was kind of off. It wasn't normal. And
Oh.
and years down the road, after I had my first child, the doctor was trying to figure out was something wrong in my blood too.
Mhm.
I did it again when I had my last child, but they come to find out, they realized that I just have a different, my cells are just different. It's genetic, and I got that from my mom.
Okay.
Cells are my red blood cells are just smaller than the white blood cells, and they're just the way they turned out. But I'm so glad, Erica, that you came on the show today to
Mhm.
share your story with us. I know that a lot of people are glad for this information that they are getting. You know,
Mhm.
you're not going to be the last young lady or the last person that was born with this. There are some people that are carrying children right now that they might birth, that might have this.
Mhm.
Giving them some information, some ideas, and some things to look out for, and to be alert about what could occur,
Yeah.
and to get help for their children. I thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story. I know the audience have enjoyed the information. They're going to keep the information that you have given to them. I just want to ask you today, how is life for you right now? I know you moved from where you was living. You're in
Mhm.
another area. You don't have to give that out, but I know you're in a beautiful place in another area. How's life for you? Is it good?
Life is good. Life
Yes.
has gotten a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I live in Florida now, and I moved from New York. And I think with the weather change too, helped my
Okay.
condition because sometimes with being in the cold, it it triggered my my sickness more.
Okay.
So, and that's a big factor with sickle cell too. The climate and how cold and hot,
Yeah.
it triggers that too. So I think with living in Florida now, life is pretty good. Just working, um, fast paced with the kids,
Yes.
and just living day by day and thanking God each day for allowing me to continue on.
Yes. Yes.
So.
That's a blessing. I caught what you said when you said that when you was living in New York, the weather was so different there.
Hmm.
As I know from living there in September, it just started getting cold. It could be hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
There 3 weeks, 3 days before it can be hot, but around September the 24th,
Hmm.
it's cold. You got to put on a jacket, and then by October, November, you can be knee deep in snow.
Yeah.
It can be freezing, and then you move to an area with a better climate. So even with the climate, it
Yeah.
helps you to get through. It can be therapeutic for you,
Yeah.
help you walk through what you gotta walk through. And I see someone asking this question too. How has the pandemic affected you?
Um, well, with sickle cell disease, your immune system is low.
Hmm.
So you have to be more careful. And with the COVID going on,
Hmm.
I have to be more of aware and more um, we just be more careful of my surroundings, who I'm around, and just wearing, wearing a mask as told,
Mhm.
and just being, just praying too. That
Mhm.
helps.
Praying for protection,
hmm Yeah.
and you have no problem wearing your mask.
No.
Mask, no problem at all.
Nope. I have no problem at all wearing my mask.
Yeah.
So, but
So
it could be. I was told by doctors too that even getting COVID could be a deadly um thing for me too because of my immune system and
yeah,
how it's hard to fight off um
right.
catching a cold or just anything. So
Yes. Wow. Hmm. So through this, you have to be cautious. You have to be careful where you go, and when you
hmm
go, you got to make sure you protect it, and you got to constantly wash your hands and keep your face covered, and that that is how we got to walk it nowadays, especially when people have compromising disease or sickness in their body. So I'm glad you said that, and hopefully those that are listening, you having a compromising disease or sickness in your body, your immune system is low. Please listen to what Erica said right here today. She said always, you said she have to make sure she's careful. She have to cover her mouth. She have to keep a mask on. She have to keep her hands clean at all times because her immune system is so low and weak. So, any of you all, any of us, you can be healthy and get it and it can harm you. So, when your immune system is compromised, you got to protect yourself. You got
yeah,
to be careful on how you do it. So, so glad that you shared that. I want to thank the person that asked that question. That was a good question. Even with that, was you afraid when you first heard about all the complications and all the things that could happen with this pandemic?
yes, I was scared out of my mind. Um, I ain't let my kids go nowhere and
Yeah,
for a long time.
I
'Cause,
understand.
they can be asymptomatic where they won't show no signs of it, and they can bring it home to me, and
Right,
with my immune system, I can catch it,
right.
and it could be deadly to me. So even when this first started, I was really scared about it,
Hmm.
and I'm still a little scared now about it with
Right.
working because I work in a school district, so
Hmm.
I'm around a lot of kids, and even with masks,
Yeah,
it's still a little scary. But I mean, like I said, you just gotta pray
yeah,
every day and just have God put His arms around you and protect you each day. So that's
right.
what I do.
Right. So I'm praying too also for God's protection to continue to be around you as you go about your normal duties because we have to work and get out there and make the money. We have to bring the money in
Yes.
and to do the essential things that we have to do for our home. And I just pray that God keeps his protection around you and keep your family covered because this pandemic is really is out there, and certain people that didn't think it was real have found out that it's real. Now that it is truly real is no joke.
hmm
And I want you to know that I appreciate you coming on sharing your story tonight.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
I know my audience have enjoyed hearing your story, that they can go off and, share it with someone that is going through something and let them know. I heard a young lady today telling me about her story and what she had to deal with. And
hmm
look at her and you could say that, man, she's making it through this. Her journey has been long and hard, but you can't tell by looking at her. I could say that little saying that I hear people say at church, you don't look like what you've been through.
Exactly.
Blessing because to walk through it and to live through it is a blessing. You're a great example for other people that are going through things. And you came on tonight to share your story. I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate you doing this. I was trying to look down and see, did I have another question right there, but I didn't. And I just want to say to my audience, thank you for joining me on tonight to listen to Erica's story and her journey. and how she is making it through the journey that she's on, and that she's walking each day. She's taking a day at a time, but she knows that she have beaten all the odds. And I want you all to know that are listening, you can beat the odds also. All you got to do is just encourage yourself, have people around you encouraging you, because I know your mother and your father was right there encouraging you, because love will pull you through anything.
It sure will.
Love will walk you through anything. So I'm just so grateful that you have two beloved people around you, your husband being right there with you. You know, God placed people in your life to help you on your journey.
Mm-hmm.
You are on a big journey and you have made it and you are doing it well. So, in my audience, I thank you again. I'll say that again for joining us on this evening and listening to Erica's story. Erica, I thank you for
Thank you.
the time of your busy schedule, because I know you got a busy schedule.
Mhm.
Thank you for taking out time to share here tonight on the Tammy Talk Show. I love you. I
I love
appreciate
you
you, audience. I love you. I appreciate you. I thank you for coming on nightly and on Sunday evening and on Thursday evenings to hear the stories of others and what the conversation is about. I thank you for your support. One thing I can say, that I have had a great audience that's supporting me on this talk show, because it is a baby that I want to raise. And I thank you all for participating, because it take a village. And I thank you for being part of the village and helping me with this baby that has been laid in my lap that I love to do. Thank you again. I appreciate you. Until next time, Thursday, please join in with me Thursday at 6:30 to listen to the Tammy Talk Show once again. Erica, thank you, and God bless you.
God
And
bless you.
prayers are with you. I love you,
I love you too.
girl. Yeah. Okay. Love you.
Love you too.
God bless.
Just thing on your chest. Uh-uh. Mhm.